Good morning, millennials, and welcome. Welcome to The Toast. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having an amazing, really glorious hump day.
I'm certainly having an amazing Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
We are doing something crazy. We're so annoying.
Jackie, no, I actually meant to talk to you about this.
We need to pretend?
My God, why can't we do the episode every single day? Okay, we have a big, busy day. We have to pre-record. Why do we have to tell people?
Because we're so authentic and they need to know the headspace that we're in. And I think it's not a big deal.
Okay.
I would rather lead with honesty, lead with transparency.
I prefer to lead with lies, but that's just me.
Lead with love.
Okay.
And I also think they would be on to us because nighttime swirly podcasting energy is so different.
It's a little crazy.
Than the GMM. If you're a patron, when we record at night, things just are haywire. It gives a lot of coconuts falling out of the coconut tree.
It gives mold. It gives all this sort of crazy interfaces. So yes, I do agree with you that it's important. That's how I feel when I share that I'm on my period. I feel like I'm not sharing it with you guys because I think you need to know. I'm sharing it with you because if I'm being bitchy or something, it's like, girl, I'm literally on my period.
It's germane to the context.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's
thank you. I'm so glad you finally understand what I'm saying.
I seriously sustained.
I know you think all these years I share every time I get my period to bother you. I don't.
Well, you didn't share this week.
No, and I did have my period, just wrapping it up.
Yeah, honestly, what was so funny, I think it was whenever you got your period, 5 days ago, I knew that you got your period, and I saw someone commented on the YouTube being like, Claudia hasn't told us that she's gotten her period in a while. And I was like, you're due. Yeah. And she was due.
No, the toasters know me so well. They literally they keep track of, they're like, Turdy, you're in your luteal phase. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Your Oura ring will also tell you that.
Okay, can I tell you something actually? I've always seen Tanya Rad talking about the phases of her cycle and how she lines up her workouts and just her moods and her date nights based on the ovulatory phase, the luteal phase.
And the follicular phase, which I think is the most busing of the phases.
So the Oura ring has started to tell me what phase I'm in. And I actually feel the difference in phases, and I know that's not revolutionary. It's since the dawn of time. I find it so helpful.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to working out. Some days I literally can't. My output is so crazy
and it's
low.
Just it's giving luteal.
It's giving follicular.
No, follicular, greater than.
Okay, so obviously menstruating phase is the phase.
Yeah. Then
ovulatory, which I know is ovulation.
Yes, but that doesn't come after menstruation. Follicular comes after menstruation. You feel your best right after you've had your period.
So I guess I'm in my
follicular.
I'm not feeling follicular.
Check your app. Just confirm. I think it goes follicular, ovulatory, luteal, menstruation.
Luteal?
I don't know.
I thought it was luteal.
You said it.
Okay.
Luteal.
Yeah, I guess I'm in
your follicular era.
Yeah, it's giving follicular.
I think I'm in my follicular too.
We went from not talking about...
Can you tell?
You went from not talking about periods to telling us what phase you're in.
Well, now you know.
No, and at the
end... I did say I was here for transparency.
Well, also, I read a tweet that was actually really interesting. I guess I'm on luteal talk now or something. Somebody was sharing that your feelings can so drastically change towards your partner throughout your cycle. And after the... leading up to your period... it's your body's natural when you start hating your husband and everyone's it's PMS. Huh? No, it's actually your body's natural response to your partner. It's very much caveman because your body knows that your partner didn't fulfill his duty of getting you pregnant. So you just hate him and you think he's worthless. That's literally your body's reaction. I have to find the tweet because I was like, oh damn. So it's literally not my fault.
I love that. However,
I love when biology gives us a reason to hate our husbands.
Yeah, no, everything makes sense. It's giving that song, The Architect by Casey Musgraves. It's designed to perfection.
Yep.
So many things about
the female
body make sense. They explain themselves, except what did God intend for us to do with
periods?
The menses. Yeah, there's no built-in way.
I don't understand the question.
Pads, that's not part of nature. Tampons, that's not part of nature.
How were we meant to manage the actual... I
think you were supposed to lay out on a stack of hay.
Or a leaf?
Yeah, but...
The leaf was the OG sanitary napkin for sure.
Yeah, but then there should have... I feel that part does. It's kind of excrement. I guess it's
duty.
Yeah.
I know this conversation's hell for you.
We're wading into tough territory, except duty can be fertilizer. So it's part of the cycle.
I just want to say I am extremely grateful to have lived in the time of pads, tampons, panty liners, diva cups, things of that nature, IUDs, like
Trips to the Cape.
trips to the Cape. I don't know how the girlies in the back in the day did it. And I know like the wealthy girls probably had like, you know,
People bleed for them.
that, but also like they probably had like cloth something
Definitely. But I do think they just like sat all day.
in it. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's my question. Like, what is the most natural way to do it?
Like
what did God intend? I'm unclear.
what does ballerina farm use? I mean, I guess that's what the author was trying to ask.
Literally.
Which she said. But I don't know like what the how did Eve do it, you know?
Yeah, what's like the intended way to do it is my question. Sound off in the comments.
And let us know, what phase are you currently in and how are you dealing with that?
Right.
No, and then Tiny Red put out a great piece of content, like how she plans her workouts around her.
I think she also plans what she's eating.
Yes, and her date nights, because you feel like sexy. Sometimes you feel like you hate your man. And it's actually like, she's kind of living in the future.
Yeah.
Her
She's
whole life is
operating
kind of surrounded
at a high level of performance.
To me, I could absolutely never be that productive. And like my life is just like constantly changing. And I don't think I could do it. I would love to get to a place where I could.
But I also don't feel my hormonal mood swings that acutely. Do you really feel like the PMS
Yes.
and the hating of your husband, like specifically at that time? I didn't even know that was a thing.
No,
I'm going to look out for that now.
I feel like period hormones. Like I feel really down sometimes. I feel really down on myself sometimes, obviously on Ben. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm being so nice to Ben. Like I do feel, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of a woman of nature in that sense.
Interesting. Fascinating stuff, Lettert.
So we went from me not being allowed to talk about my period to us doing a whole pre-fast five banter about it.
If you want to talk about it in a way that's really helpful for women, then I'll allow it.
I'm all about helping women.
And no, I do mean that. I don't just want to hear you're on your period, like just to like set, you know,
just to
set off like a bomb on the show.
Right.
But like, if you want to talk about what it means to be a woman, I'll have that conversation all day long.
I would love to talk about what it means to be a woman. How much time do you have?
I mean, how long do the Kurds give us these days?
These days, the Kurds are kind of putting in the work.
Endless Kurds.
Endless.
And there's no video today because, as we stated, we recorded the night before. We're in our jamas, which also adds to the experience. Yeah.
When we look ugly, we like feel crazy. And we just, I think, feel more comfortable saying the things that maybe when we're all done up really hold us back.
You think it's that?
Yeah, I definitely feel, or it's also just like a level of comfort. You know, you feel comfortable, you just like things come out of your mouth.
Yeah. But I also feel like most of my self when I'm made up, I think you can just like argue it any which way.
Do you feel more yourself when you're fully done up to the nines?
Yes,
or when
when we sit down to do a podcast, if we're gonna do one, say audio only, and I don't do my makeup and I'm like sitting in my bed, like I definitely feel worse, more like haywire, crazy, fun and funky, but like not professional and polished in the person that I want to be.
Yeah, I guess when I'm all done up, I don't feel most like myself, but I like myself more.
Major key.
Major key.
People stopped saying that, but I never did.
Speaking of major key, DJ Khaled's going viral. He did a fridge tour.
Oh.
He had the craziest looking freezer I've ever seen in my life. Like the most organized, stacks on stacks, the biggest fridge I've ever seen, like giving Yolanda Hadid a run for her money, and it was full of ice cream. It was like the opposite of Yolanda Hadid's lemon fridge. It was kind of amazing.
I believe that. I feel like he's someone that would be at the Olympics. Just like in everyone's face.
I feel like he's not that guy anymore. Like when his Snapchat blew up and he became really like the biggest person in media, and it was kind of annoying. He was everywhere to everyone all at once. I feel like he's kind of taken a step back.
You think it's him stepping back or people being over it?
No, I think like if he wanted to go to the Olympics, like if he wanted to go to anything,
like I think NBC would love to have him. Like they have Snoop Dogg and that's going so amazingly.
Who's doing a great job. I will say he's making me giggle a lot. Yeah. And I actually think the Olympians really like him too. He's like sitting with everyone's family. I love that.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about the Olympics. Huge day for Team USA when it came to girlies and the gymnastics. Love to see it. Literally took up my whole day. I had the best time. I love the Olympics. Go America.
USA.
USA. One thing about me, there's a USA chant. Like I'm in it.
Chiming in.
No, I love, like I get chills.
Yeah.
I got a lot of chills during the Olympics, especially when the girls like celebrated and they knew that they had won and they grabbed the flag and they were like screaming, jumping upside down. Like they work so hard. It was the cutest thing.
It was really cute. We are going to recap yesterday's day of Olympics. Spoiler alert.
Yesterday.
Today.
Asterisk.
Today.
Because we're actually recording
It's actually
at night.
airing right now for people who didn't watch live.
Yeah. I know like that I've watched too much Olympics because I wake up super early and I start watching. And then by the time I watch the whole day, and by the time we're like sitting down for dinner, they are now playing in prime time the things that I watched live at like 7 a.m. And then I'm like, okay, I've officially watched the whole cycle. I need to turn this off.
Yeah. And then we podcast.
Watching live is so much better. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, the last few nights we've been podcasting at night, but maybe like tomorrow night.
No, Jay, I said watching. Like I'm talking about the Olympics.
No, I know, but then what would you watch at night? Sorry, I skipped like ahead in my thoughts. It's like because you've watched the Olympics during the day, you don't need to watch the Olympics at night. So what would you watch at night? I'm saying we've been podcasting. That's why we haven't been open to evening content.
I've been watching a lot of Mindy Project. That's like my new comfort show of choice. It's so much better than Friends. Like it's seriously.
You've been watching Mindy Project here?
Yeah, like every night before bed. I fall asleep to it. It's so fucking good.
That's really crazy. I didn't know that.
Like I think that
I didn't know you were watching TV.
if I were to ever properly like be able to write a successful sitcom, like it would be the Mindy. Like I feel represented in the Mindy Project. It is the best show on television. She is seriously so funny. She's so us. She's such a squirrely. It's the best show on TV. I stand by that.
I mean, I agree. That's why I was doing ads for it. Like
That's just like a
8
fun
years
fact
ago.
about you. Jackie was paid by Hulu to promote like a million years ago. They were kind of ahead of their time in influencer marketing.
Mm-hmm. And he did like a super cute ad for them.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone should go watch Mindy Project. I stand by it.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag Hulu partner.
Hashtag yeah.
Hashtag go watch Mindy Project.
Yeah.
Like I'm
How did we
still
get here?
singing that tune.
Oh, we've been podcasting at night. We're going to talk about the Olympics. We watch the Olympics all day. Yeah, big day. I know a lot went on, but really the swirlies were swirling. They were twirling and swirling.
Yeah, so that will be our first story, Olympics recap. And I guess we could get into it.
We also have Dear Toasters, which we're so in our Dear Toasters group. We actually recorded a full Dear Toasters episode for our Patreon. So if you're like a DT big fan, check that out. It was hilarious. People, when they write in for Patreon, I think they feel a little bit more comfortable sharing.
They're not like worried someone's going to figure out that it's them.
It's safe behind a paywall.
We had really good submissions.
We did.
So if that's your favorite part of the show, there are a number of episodes like that over the years. You should check them out.
You should.
Now, without further ado, it is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Splenda Stevia. Splenda, you know the little yellow packet of sweetener. They have created something brand new, and it's Splenda Stevia, which is really, Splenda Stevia is kind of very toasty in the sense that it's a blend of Jack's and Claude. I am so Splenda loyal. Like when I go for that little, like at a diner or something, I'm always going yellow. I'm a Splenda loyalist. Jackie's recently really gotten into Stevia and has been trying to like get me on the train, but I'm so loyal to Splenda. Lo and behold, they came out with Splenda Stevia. So just so you know, it's made by Splenda, but it doesn't have any of the original Splenda in it. Splenda Stevia is an all-new plant-based sweetener that uses U.S.-grown stevia. So unlike other stevia brands, stevia uses U.S.-grown stevia that they grow on their own farm in Florida. Having a U.S. farm also means lower carbon emissions and greater sustainable practices. Splenda Stevia is available in packets, pouches, and liquid sweeteners. Splenda Stevia is a zero-calorie sweetener that is perfect to use anywhere you would use a sweetener. So sugar in your tea, coffee. I've really been putting Splenda Stevia in my sugar-free yogurt because I need sugar. So you can visit splenda.com/thetoast. We have a code, it's the toast. And if you use that code, you will get a free sample of Splenda Stevia. So that's splenda.com, SPLENDA.com/thetoast. Our code is the toast, and you will get a free sample of Splenda Stevia, but only when you use our code the toast, THETOASTE at splenda.com/thetoast. Thank you, Splenda Stevia, for sponsoring today's episode. Today's episode is also brought to you by KiwiCo. KiwiCo delivers seriously fun learning for kids of all ages through hands-on projects and activities. Each month, kids receive crates packed with engaging hands-on activities designed to introduce them to exciting science, technology, and art concepts. So there's always something to learn for new kids to discover, like engineering robots or learning about the science of ice cream. With 9 monthly programs to choose from, KiwiCo has something fun for kids of all ages, ranging from infants up to preschoolers, even teens, and beyond. So let me say this, after spending the last 4 weeks with kids, let me tell you how hard it is to keep them entertained. Like, you think you have this great toy. It's not engaging. It's not stimulating. It's certainly not teaching them anything. That's what I love about KiwiCo. You can discover real science, technology, engineering, art, and math concepts through fun hands-on projects delivered to your door every month. So each crate is designed by real experts. It's tested on kids to ensure that every experience is age-appropriate, engaging, and seriously fun. The crates will come with everything needed to build, including materials and instructions. As parents and aunties alike know, it can be really hard to find creative ways to keep your kids engaged, challenged, and most importantly, off their screens. KiwiCo does the legwork for you so you can spend quality time tackling projects together. There's something for kids of all ages. They'll explore new worlds and rediscover familiar ones without leaving home. Give them the tools to learn new skills, build new experiences, and make new connections to the broader world, from discovering the science of magic to engineering a domino machine and more. Redefine learning with play, explore projects that build confidence and problem-solving skills with KiwiCo. Get 50% off your first month of any crate line at kiwico.com, promo code TOAST. That's 50% off your first month at kiwico.com, promo code TOAST. Today's episode is also brought to you by Blue Nile. Buying jewelry is kind of like a dream scenario. In fact, if you offer us the opportunity to buy ourselves jewelry or even buy it for someone else, we're going to take that opportunity every time. The actual shopping process when it comes to jewelry can be a bit overwhelming, and you don't want to feel unsure about such a serious purchase. You want to make sure you're getting a piece that you really love, and here's what makes us feel the best about a jewelry purchase: when it's sourced from BlueNile.com. So Blue Nile offers thousands of independently graded diamonds and fine jewelry at prices significantly below traditional retail. They also offer peace of mind with every purchase with some of the highest quality standards in the industry. Make a classic statement with a white gold tennis bracelet, snap up some stylish diamond huggy hoops to add a minimalist elegance to every outfit. As you guys know, I made a promise to myself when I turned 30 that I was going to invest in a piece of jewelry. And if you have like a big birthday coming up, this was Tinks's idea. I loved it. I thought it was such a great way to commemorate this big moment in your life, and Blue Nile's an amazing option. If you have any questions, Blue Nile's jewelry experts are on hand 24/7 via phone or chat. From technical questions to budget suggestions, they're here to help you find a piece that you can feel great about, whether you're gifting it to yourself or someone else. And you can feel great about adding it to cart because Blue Nile also offers 30-day returns and a diamond price match guarantee. Experience the ease and convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler. Go to BlueNile.com today. That's Blue Nile, BlueNile.com today. BlueNile.com. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's episode.
Thank you, Turt.
You're welcome.
Our first story, major news out of the Olympics. Simone Biles and the Swirlies captured gold in the team gymnastics women's competition.
Oh my God. I mean, there was really never a doubt. There were like whispers that Brazil was like a little bit on their ass, but Brazil was like really favored to win silver, and lo and behold, they won bronze.
Italy won a medal in gymnastics for the first time in 92 years.
Huge for the community. Huge for the Italians.
Were very excited about it.
So happy for them. Like, don't care,
Who was slated to win third? Like, who was the third? I guess Great Britain was fourth.
There were a couple. Great Britain, Canada.
And Japan.
Yeah. And China has a very, very good gymnastics team, and they had some like major mistakes, like kind of competition ending mistakes, like falling off the beam, falling off the uneven bars. It was really sad to watch, and you can't help but like just feel so bad for people. Especially I was watching this totally random ping pong with table tennis finals between North Korea and China, and North Korea lost, and like I actually felt so bad for them. Like, these people know no joy. Just like, seriously, the Chinese people should have let them win.
And I don't think it's going to be good for them when they go back to their country. I don't know like how seriously Kim Jong takes the Olympics.
No, I know.
And if he was expecting victory.
It was a gold medal match too. So I do think they placed, they won silver, but like, and also what is this thing? Can somebody explain to me? Like, we're changing all the acronyms. Like, I can't keep up. Like, okay, so you would think for, South Africa, right?
Yeah, it's
when they're playing
RSA.
RSA. When they're playing against someone, it's like RSA versus USA. I'm like, what the hell is RSA? It took me I was like trying to think, and I couldn't recognize the flag. Republic of South Africa. With North Korea, I thought it'd be NK. No, PRK, People's Republic of Korea. It's so confusing.
I mean, that's what it is.
No, I know, but like
that's
colloquially.
Like okay, here's the exact example.
I know, USA.
People would call America, America, and then they're like, what's USA?
No, even like Great Britain. Excuse me, it's the UK.
What is it there? Great
Britain.
GB?
It's also like England.
Jib?
It's GB, yeah.
I got targeted for a piece of information on Facebook.
You've been targeted?
On Facebook, in my algorithm, I get information every 4 posts. It's some ads, but mostly just like interesting information that they think I would find interesting.
And what did you find interesting?
And it was this map of the UK that I literally screenshotted because it's literally what we've been needing in our life. And it explains the islands and which parts Great Britain, which parts United Kingdom, what Scotland and Wales are, and Ireland. And like Northern Ireland is a part of the UK. So I just will have this map on my phone for the next time we need to talk about things there.
Okay, and this might be a dumb question, but so in the Olympics.
Yeah, like Ireland.
Does Ireland have their own? Yes.
Yeah, they had a boat.
But Scotland doesn't because they're a part of Great Britain.
Then
That's
they're in GB.
really crazy.
Then they're in GB.
To me, Scotland just gives like they have their own identity, like they're their own thing. But they're
I think
in the
they're
Olympics.
proud people.
Did I say that they weren't?
But I also think they're team players.
Damn, that is helpful. Thank you.
Do you want me to send this to you?
Kind of. Like I need to favorite it just add it to my favorites album.
We share a Facebook, so maybe you'll see it one day.
Perhaps. Well, back to the girlies from America. It was so fabulous to watch. It's really interesting how they all have such unique personalities. And a lot of them have, this is not their first Olympics together. Actually,
4 out of 5.
Simone Biles tweeted that the name for this team is the Golden Girls because they won gold, but also they're the oldest. Simone Biles is currently the oldest female Olympian for gymnastics for the last 50 years. They're all veterans except for that new girl who is so cute. And so they have this really great connection with one another. I feel like they're so like, if I ever found out that they hated each other, like I wouldn't be okay. Because I don't
think that they do.
Me neither.
There's no room for that in what they're trying to do. Like, there's no room for that energy. Like, they have to focus. They have to lift each other up. These are like cheery people. And I think it's all good. But Simone did say that the name for their team this year, they had a hard time finding a name. She said their name is Fuck Around and Find Out.
Oh my God. Well, she just tweeted that the name is Golden Girls.
Well, maybe it's in response to, she got asked in an interview, and apparently they were on the Today Show and they still didn't have a name and people were giving suggestions. In the past, it's been Fierce 5 or
I remember that,
Fighting 4. I think that's when Simone didn't compete. I remember the Fab 5. That was like my Olympics, I feel.
Yeah, that Allie Raisman year.
London.
Gabby Douglas. Yeah.
Michaela Maroney.
Yeah, that was a good year.
What was it? The scowl.
Sounds like
hers?
we're like talking about wine. It was a good year.
No, I feel like everyone like remembers the most prominent Olympics in my life, in just in the way that my age.
But I also remember growing up like the Nastiliuk and Shawn Johnson years.
I feel like I was young for that. Like I watched it and I appreciated it, but I didn't feel like a present, formed person.
Well, I loved, and I one of my favorite parts was learning so much about the girlies' background. I feel like I know a lot about Simone now, especially like her family, because of her documentary. Her husband was in the audience and he was wearing a shirt. I don't feel like it was like a direct response, but like I said, this man can't do anything without the comments being like, Mrs. Jonathan Owens. He wore a shirt that said Biles and like it had pictures of her. Like I said, I am over it.
He would be wearing that shirt no matter what he said in the past.
I am over it. I actually love him.
Writing down everyone's scores.
He was being so cute.
Like
he had a Sharpie.
To do his own math.
And he had this like rogue piece of paper. It was like a piece of mail. He probably like pulled out of his suitcase. And he was literally, because you don't think about it, we have all the information at home because the announcers are helping us. And it's actually very confusing in gymnastics how the scoring works. No, and he was literally doing math sitting with her parents. I'm sorry, I like him.
I like him too. From what I've seen and heard, I really like him. I just need to give one demerit to Peacock because they never told us Simone's final score for her floor routine. Like, we're sitting there with our dick in our hands being like, it seems as though they've won because they're really happy. But what did Simone get?
Totally.
Especially after everything, Simone's whole story. It's like, it's not just about the team winning gold. It's also about Simone's comeback. Like, she hit the floor. What did she get?
Yeah.
Did she hit it? Did she stick it? Some
other sort of like chill-worthy moments was Jordan Childs fell off the beam during her routine, which was... I can't, like, I was probably, you can probably attest to this, like one of the most annoying people to watch with. The beam, I have a physical reaction to the beam. It's so scary and it's so stupid. It's like my least favorite thing to watch. I don't find it interesting. I have such anxiety for the girls. It defies math. It defies physics. I hate the balance beam. She fell off, but then she ended up like doing such a fabulous routine. Yeah. Sunili also had like a bit of a kind of critical mistake in her uneven bars, which she's known for. That's like her skill. Then she ended up doing, the girls they were like, they couldn't be stopped. And I think even them, and they had like some big mistakes, like I said, her falling off and the other, but their skills were so far ahead the other teams that they were able to kind of afford those kinds of mistakes.
Room because they're just competing on another
some
level.
Of the other teams, like it put them out.
Right.
It put them out. Those girls make me so proud. I just love them. And then I, was learning a lot about Jordan Childs. I kind of love her. I think she's the one on the team with like the most attitude. Like she's always dancing and cheering and most personality. And she's named after Michael Jordan. It's like her parents knew she was going to do great things. I love that little fun fact. They've said it 45 times on the broadcast. Like it's their favorite thing to share every time they show her on the screen. And she is the daughter of not one, but 2 pastors. She's from Washington. She's an interesting girl.
or DC?
State. Vancouver, Washington. Very confusing.
Not Canada.
Not Canada. Suni's my girl. Like, I literally love her. I love that they kept cutting to her sisters. They're so swirly. They were so excited to be there. My personal favorite part of the entire affair, and this is something everyone's talking about, I had sent it to you as a story.
Yeah.
Is this moment where the girls realize they've won. They see Simone score. It was the number they were waiting for. They jump. And their first inclination, Suni and Simone, like look at each other and they very quickly are like, all right. And they start plotting the TikToks they were going to record.
Yeah.
Suni's like, okay, let's do the one where they said, what would you do if you didn't win? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, Simone was overheard telling her teammates that she wanted to do the chomping on the gold medals as she moved her hand to mimic putting the medal in her mouth. And then Suni said, okay, and I want to do the one that says, imagine what we would do if we didn't win. That's literally me and you at Gizno.
That's literally me every morning. I wake up on this earth and torture everyone. But yes, it's us at Gizno. That is so relatable. And then it really brings it back into perspective because they really are these world-class athletes. But at the end of the day, they're just girls.
They're just young
and
girls.
They're so young.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I loved that moment and I loved that we could hear them. I didn't know we would be able to hear. I thought we'd have to read their mouths. But I heard it. I was cackling.
Yeah, but they got the talks.
Oh, the talks.
I'm sure they're going viral.
Of course. They came up on my FYP because I follow all the girlies. Suni like made a decision, I think in Tokyo 2020, that she was going to continue doing gymnastics, but like she was going to take social media really seriously, which I think was really smart because, you know, your career as a gymnast is over. I mean, Simone's considered old and she's 27. Like you don't have the longest. And she's really setting herself up. She has so many followers. She works so hard on her social media. Like I think it's probably one of the smartest things she's done. It reminds me a lot of Shawn Johnson.
And also Nastia. They both like really
went into
influencing and they have huge careers. Yeah.
And they each, I think, make a lot of money from it. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really smart.
Yeah.
No, and they're like thinking about the future. Like they won gold and the first thing they're thinking of is their social media careers.
Yeah,
I love it.
They're also like just young girls and that's what you do.
Yeah. And Simone posted something. So she posted a couple of stories. She's like, I don't want to hear or see anybody talking about my hair. I guess the other day she got dragged for like having her hair in a messy bun, which like whatever. And she was like, I don't want to hear about it when it comes to my hair because she took a video of herself on the bus on the way to the competition. She's like, I had a snatched pony. Her hair looked so good. She was like, they put us on this bus for 45 minutes with no air conditioning. And now my hair looks like the way it is. So I don't want to hear about it. Them putting this world-class athletes.
No.
I wanted to know, I was thinking, who's in charge of transportation? Is it Team USA? Is it Paris Olympics? Who the fuck is putting these girls?
The Paris organizing committee.
And maybe it's just like Europe not having air conditioning. That's like their thing. Right. Unacceptable. It's the middle of summer. These are world-class athletes. A 45-minute bus ride on the way to an important competition. A medal. It wasn't even qualifying. It was a final. And they don't have air conditioning.
That's wrong.
They're so wrong for that. But all that to say, those girlies are doing the most, like when it comes to social media. And I was also thinking when I was watching, because they all, especially Suni, she had really gorgeous makeup. And gymnastics is one of those sports where I don't think it's required. And it's interesting how the makeup trends in like different countries are, because I feel like I was just noticing like American girls are so TikTok, like glowy Charlotte Tilbury skin.
Yeah.
Like I thought the girls from China was so interesting. Not a lot of skin makeup, but a lot of eye makeup, whatever. It just made me think of like their days are so long. You know, not only do they have to compete in these hours long, but they're doing their hair and makeup, like full glam. And I don't think they bring glam teams with them. They're doing it themselves. Miserable.
Yeah. But hopefully they're wearing something, you know, lightweight, wearable, flexible, can move with them.
You know, a makeup company should get on that.
Fenty Beauty is the sponsor of the Olympics.
Yeah. I bet they all got gift bags from Rihanna.
I think that's a fun part of it. You know, just like doing the TikToks. Like I think they're girly swirlies. And by the way, they don't have to wear makeup and they don't have to go to the nines. So if they don't like that part, they don't have to do it. I'm sure we can look back at Olympians from the last 20 years who like didn't do the most. But I would imagine like you're on TV too. Like it's very exciting. And a lot of girls these days, and I feel like more so these days than even when we were their age, like everyone does their makeup and everybody knows how to do it. And it's just really fun. Yeah.
What age are kids starting to wear makeup these days?
Well, it's earlier now and they're wearing more now. And some of it is in bad, you know, this is bad way. But some of it is like, it seems like a fun creative outlet. I don't I don't take so much issue with it.
Me neither.
It just depends.
They could be doing, you know, math.
Yeah. It's like painting.
It's like painting. When did you start wearing makeup? I have vivid
In
memories.
middle school.
Yeah, of 7th grade. Like I used to get in so much trouble every time I would put black eyeliner like on my bottom waterline. That was like my thing. I loved it so much. And I remember like I really used to do it at camp because I couldn't get in trouble. And then on visiting day, I had to like wipe all the eyeliner from my eyes. But I remember also high school, like putting on like a tinted moisturizer and like doing makeup.
No,
bronzer.
I started in middle school like with mascara, and then I started doing bronzer, and I just like built my way up. But I feel like I have no qualms about when I started. I don't feel like I was too young.
Yeah. When I see like really young girls on social media doing Get Ready With Me's, they're literally like in middle school.
Okay. That like it's better. There are other worse things you could be doing.
There are. And actually I weirdly feel like not even the trend so much with younger girls in middle school now is makeup more than it is skincare.
Yeah.
Like the whole drunk elephant thing. I mean, it's never a bad time to start taking care of your skin.
It's just like kind of stupid and a waste of money, but okay.
I know. And I do feel like when you're so young and your skin is like pretty normal, you're like clogging your pores.
Right.
But have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I loved today at the Olympics. Like seriously, such a glorious day.
And then just part B, another major Olympics news story is that Coco Gauff is out at the Olympics.
This was a shock.
Cried during an emotional argument with the chair umpire amid her eliminating loss to Donna Vecchic at the Paris Olympics.
Oh my God.
Amid soaring temperatures in Paris, tennis star Coco Gauff felt the heat both on and off the court when she was moved to tears during an emotional argument with the chair umpire before an Olympics ousting loss to Donna Vecchic. She was eliminated from the women's singles competition at Stade Roland Garros on Tuesday after losing to the Croatian.
This was shocking. And honestly, what's so interesting to me about the whole thing is like Coco Gauff in America, and honestly, I mean, it's a global sport, like of all the competitions, and in the tennis world, she's really highly respected. And I don't think she had to go to the Olympics. I think she wanted to, like we were saying earlier in the week, she opted to stay at the Olympic Village. I think she like really loves the Olympics, and she was the flag bearer, and I think she took that job really seriously. So I'm really sad for her because I think she like really wanted, everyone wants to win, but she was like taking it oddly so seriously.
It's not even about winning, but it's like you're also out of the game.
You're still participating.
She can still win in doubles and mixed doubles. She's playing both. Mm-hmm. So there's still more tennis for her. She's still part of the Olympics.
But like the big one, her big solo.
But yeah, and she is like the greatest tennis player in the world. It definitely feels a little premature. What round is this even?
I mean, it's day 3 of the Olympics. It's not that great. It's not that far.
I do think the person that she played was also really highly ranked. So it just one of them had to get out. Just like who played Djokovic
and Nadal.
And Nadal. Like it's like, oh my God, they're already playing. That feels like finals energy.
Coco Gauff is also so young, and it's like the beginning of her career. I do feel she'll have an Olympic medal at some point. But I've really enjoyed like watching. She's just someone who's like really joyful, and she's like fun to see the Olympics through her eyes. And you know, she's still competing, and she's still there. But like this was like surprising.
Yeah, she's playing doubles and mixed doubles. She's playing with Taylor Fritz for mixed doubles.
Yes, I knew that. I love him. He's so cute.
Yeah, and he's the one who's dating
the other one,
the Morgs.
Yeah, that whole saga is confusing because those two girls are twins,
right?
And I think they have beef.
Yeah, clearly.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, like the influencer, there are 2 influencers who look seriously exactly alike, and their Instagrams are so similar too because their
content is so similar.
They're both dating professional
tennis players who are like number 7 and 8 in the country, and they keep switching. Like they're the exact same level of tennis.
It's Paige Lorenz, who I feel like everybody knows from like Armie Hammer and Morgan Wallen. And Morgs. What is her name? Morgan. She's so cute. Like the girlies are so cute. Loving the content.
Is Paige's boyfriend playing at the Olympics?
I don't see why he wouldn't be.
And also the boyfriends' names are so similar.
Taylor and
Tommy, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Tommy just won that big competition.
With the neck.
With the claw.
He won. It wasn't a big competition. It was like a big swim meet or whatever.
That's a competition.
Yeah, what are those things called? Open.
No.
Grand Slam.
Yeah.
One of those.
It was, which one?
I think it was maybe the Australian Open. It was like a big one.
Yeah.
And that's where that whole Paige Lorenz claw neck thing went viral.
Oh my God, that was so crazy. And we talked about this at Gizno.
Mm-hmm. We never talked about it
on the toast when we were talking about what we were going to talk about at Gizno. And I put up a claw. I was like, there's like influencer drama. And I was like giving you a sign. I put up a claw. And you were like, oh, I know. And then everyone in the comments was like, oh my God, you're talking about Paige Lorenz claw. No, I wasn't.
Right.
What I was talking about when I did claw, I meant the Panthers Stanley Finals game because Caitlin Bristow was there and so was Jason Tartick, and they were both with their new partners.
You guys probably don't even know what we're talking about.
I do feel the need to clear it up right now because we only cleared it up at Gizno. And no, when I saw that picture of Paige Lorenz and Tommy. Iconic Americana. I wasn't looking at anything other than their stunning beauty. I didn't notice for 1 second that her hand looked weird.
When that video went viral of like them posing for the photo, Paige got like a lot of backlash for like having her claw around her man and like being crazy. For me, I was like, oh, I didn't realize girls like Paige Lorenz like worried as much as I do about how I look in a photo, you know? I move my neck, my arm. I'm so crazy. If you actually ever saw a video of me taking a photo, you would think I was crazy. Like and I just saw someone who looked as perfect as she does, like doesn't have those problems, but she does. Like she's just like us. To me, I thought the video actually brought me great peace.
Yeah. Also, I just saw an interesting article that Taylor Fritz is set to play 3 matches in one day at the Olympics on Wednesday. So today/tomorrow.
That's really crazy.
Because he got like a horrible schedule.
He's really cute.
Yeah. And then he will be partners with Tommy in men's doubles.
No, and I'm telling you, their girlfriends hate each other. I don't really know the tea. I'm not speaking like I have any like
no, it's clear that they
gossip.
do because
if there's something going on.
If they didn't, they would be best friends. And the fact that they're not best friends means that they don't like each other because they have everything in common. They are the same person.
I think that they both think that the other one copies the other. I could see Paige being like, that girl copies me. I could see Morgan being like, that bitch copies me.
I really feel like it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg. You could argue both sides. I don't know. Even though I don't know the answer to the question.
At the end of the day, I'm so happy to have these 2 women to follow. Like, I don't need more than that.
No, and the content is so premium.
Correct.
Yeah. I haven't seen the Olympic stuff, though, yet. I got to keep my eye out. I can't believe they were playing doubles together. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
That's really crazy.
No, it's really crazy. And I think this is like a corner of the internet people are obsessed with.
I
like
understand
the tennis wags.
Why.
Yeah, of course.
No, and tennis wags in general are having many a moment because through this content, I've seen some other tennis wags online. And what a fabulous circle of women.
They run in a fabulous circle of women.
Not only do they dress so well and they are beautiful girls, but like they have a really great creative eye. They have really great style. Like the photos that they capture of themselves.
Stunning.
Magazine quality. Anna Wintour, take note.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah, no,
like,
I
what
agree.
is in the water?
I don't know. They're churning out like magazine level content.
They are.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you.
Agreed.
To the tennis wags.
Correct.
So that's your Olympics recap for
It was a big day.
Today/yesterday/tomorrow.
/asterisk.
Are you ready for our next story? Because it's major podcasting news, sports news, and sibling news. And no, it's not about us.
Disgustingly.
But we'll find a way to make it about us.
Of course we will.
Because Travis and Jason Kelce are seeking a massive payday for their podcast. TMZ is reporting that according to the Wall Street Journal, the Kelce brothers have been in contact with Wondery, whose parent company is Amazon, about locking up a $100 million agreement for their weekly show. It's unclear what the length of the pack would be or how many episodes it would entail, but it seems that the brothers have a decent shot of getting near or their actual reported demands.
Call me crazy, feel like $100 million is not a big enough deal. Because when you think about the big deals in the podcasting that we're always reporting on, like Smartless just did $100 million, Call Her Daddy, $60 million. Joe Rogan's was like under wraps. Like we don't
know the full, like we know there was $100 million maybe for like one day and then there was many more millions.
I think at this point, Spotify has paid Joe Rogan. My guess is $300 million. Like that's what I really think. And I think that their podcast is massive. I think that they have a kind of a formula that nobody else has. What they have is people, they don't have guests on their show. People tune in for them. And people are increasingly tuning in more and more. And it's really consistent. It's not like when they talk about Taylor, they get so many. And then when they don't, nobody listens. Yeah. People listen regardless of whether they're having a big London Wembley Stadium moment or not. I think that the show is massive. I think it's only going to get bigger. Jason's retiring. I think they're going to invest more in it and more of his time. I think they could easily get $100 million. I actually think they could get more, even though they are one of the only shows. They're weekly. Yeah. Smartless is what, like 3 times?
Yeah, they do a lot of episodes. Joe Rogan does more episodes.
Yeah, he does like 3 to 5 every week.
Okay. Most.
So them they really only do 1 episode a week, which I feel like is how podcasts got started, but nobody does just 1 anymore.
I feel like putting them on the same level of Smartless right now, it kills me to say, but I feel like that seems right. That feels right. $100 million deal for probably like 3 years. That feels right based on what we can see and what we know.
And I love it, by the way. Love to see siblings out here getting massive deals. I think the show is great. I think it's like a family friendly, fun football fame. Like it's I think a lot of like young people watch it and I think it's great. Like I think they're good role models.
Yeah.
Jason Kelce's cracking me up. Him and Kelce went to see Simone.
Kylie.
Kelce, I'm cracking up. Him and Kylie went to see Simone Biles in Paris. Like, I just think they're good American folk, you know?
Yeah. No, and I think one of the most, what's the word?
Valuable?
Valuable. Yes. Thank you.
I don't even know what you're going to say. I'm so excited.
One of the most valuable things about the show is that, like, they won't have to worry about getting to a point where it's like, what are we going to talk about? Because it just regenerates itself. Yep. Like you said, they don't have guests. And they talk about sports, which happens every single day. And their brother, like, I think it's really a good
formula.
They're not just like peaking and it's like, where do they go from here? Yep. Even if him and Taylor broke up, God forbid, you know, whatever, that wouldn't change the show.
Totally agree. And I think there are so many shows out there when you look at like even all the shows we just named, Joe Rogan, Smartless, they're all interview-based show and based shows, and that's great.
Wait, and they haven't run into an issue, and I don't think that they will.
But not everyone
literally, Joe Rogan's been podcasting for 15 years. I think he's all set.
And that's great. Not everyone can be the best interviewer. Not everybody can have the best guests. So you're almost in like a little bit of a rat race. And when you're Jason and Travis, you're kind of coming into this like, we don't have that problem. Everybody tunes in every week just for us.
Yeah, but I also think with interview-based shows, like the way to make it so that the guest doesn't matter as much, it's like when people are really still tuning in for you.
Well, that's the thing. I think like Smartless gets the same amount of downloads every week. Right, I think people just love those guys, which they've been doing for a really long time. Like they've earned that. And I think they're really good at what they do.
Same for Joe Rogan. Because like the guests that he has that are hit number one, I'm like, I've never heard of that person. And like they're very obscure people.
Oh my God, wait. Speaking of guest interviews, the funniest thing happened today that is so BSC coded. We have to talk about it.
Well, actually the code was BSC.
So somebody DM'd me and was like, I'm like, feel like I'm in an alternate universe. And they sent me the screen recording and I went to go do it on my own phone and the same exact thing happened. So Amanda Hirsch, Not Skinny Not Fat, had Ryan Reynolds on her podcast, like huge for her. You go to listen to the episode this morning. Literally, I press play. It's The Good Guys. Literally an episode of Good Guys started playing. I don't know how, and I'm sure it was like some sort of back-end issue.
You haven't heard anything about it
since? I didn't even talk to Ben about it. I meant to ask him. I heard nothing. And then later in the day, like they fixed it, obviously. But other people had the issue and I did too. Oh my God, like that would happen to Ben. Like this huge moment for Amanda.
Right.
And it's Good Guys promo.
Yeah.
That's so Good Guys coded.
That's so funny. A little Dear Media wire crossing.
Hysterical. I meant to ask Ben if like everybody was blowing up his DMs.
I'm sure if it reached you.
It did, yeah.
Then it reached him.
I was cracking up.
Well, I look forward to hearing the deal points on this one.
Me too, by the way. I don't know if
And I think it'll be good for his relationship if he brings home this like really big paycheck.
Totally.
You know?
I don't know if I love stories like this, but because it's literally what I do for a living. Right. I don't know. Did you guys care as much? Like these stories, I could talk about them forever.
I think people would say that they care about this because it goes back to Taylor. Everyone loves the Kelce brothers, which is why like they deserve this money as we stated.
I find
maybe
podcast deals
get more in the weeds, but I do think when we're talking about the biggest deals like this, then it's people that a lot of people know because that's why they are up for a big deal.
Right.
Like
right.
Smartless.
It's also just great to see like new media, you know?
New heights.
Correct.
Yeah, and they're a relatively new show. So this might be one of the fastest rises in podcast history. For sure. No, I think the fastest rise was like that 1 year that both the Call Her Daddy girls worked on the show. Yeah. But in terms of like getting to
a deal,
the multi-million
they never got
deal.
to it together, but
no, and like from the first episode to the Spotify deal, maybe that was actually we would know. It's how long was their Barstool contract? 3 years, right? That was the point.
I don't remember.
I don't know how long they've been doing New Heights. How long have they been doing New Heights?
I feel like it's been at least 2 years because they were doing it before.
Of course.
He blew up. Not for that long.
Really? I feel like they might have been doing it for a while, actually.
Well, then that would be really amazing for them. Like this thing they stuck with.
Yeah.
And worked hard to slowly grow, finally came to fruition. That would be amazing too.
Yeah, it would be. September 2022.
2 years.
Fastest rise in podcasting.
That's pretty fast. Yeah.
Damn.
Good for them.
Good for them.
I like them. Like you love to see it.
Does anyone not like them?
I think like crazy football fans, like who hate the Chiefs.
Taking them out, like on a personality level, like they are universally beloved because I think even if one of them like might not do it for you,
The
then you
other
like the
will.
other one.
So it's so Jackson Claude coded.
So who's the Jax? Jason.
That's a good question.
I think you're the Travis.
I wouldn't say it's so cut and dry, but if I had to, yes, I would say that too. But I don't think we're equal matches.
No,
We're not like, I'm not like so Travis, you're not like so Jason.
You're not so Travis. You're not so Travis. I think that's what's not as...
I'm so high school.
Oh, you're so
every
Travis. You love
time.
Taylor. You're literally so
true.
Travis.
So true.
Are you ready for our next story?
What number is it?
Number 3.
Yes.
About a little more Jax news.
Taylor.
Jax Taylor is seeking inpatient treatment for mental health struggles amid Brittany Cartwright split. Jax Taylor has decided to seek inpatient treatment as he struggles with his mental health amid his split from his wife, Brittany Cartwright, Page 6 can confirm. Jax has always been candid about his mental health struggles, especially during the past few months. On his podcast, he has made the decision to seek inpatient treatment. His rep told Page 6, this is a particularly sensitive time for him and his family. They ask for privacy and respect until he is ready to speak more on the matter. TMZ was the first to report the news. After years of attempting to work with mental health professionals, he recently revealed on his podcast that he had found an amazing doctor. He said, quote, I met a doctor at my bar and she's absolutely amazing. And I went in there
his bar?
and I literally just broke down. Yeah, he has a bar now in Studio City.
Jax's Studio City.
But I don't know if that's separate from him going to inpatient. But just to say, the last time he spoke about his mental health update, he had met a therapist at his bar.
Okay. I feel like every detail that was just shared like is so vague.
So vague. I don't want to be
Rude.
so naive. No, because I feel like for a while, until I watched The Valley, I was like, oh, they'll get back together. Oh, they'll figure it out. Like, they know each other. They love each other. But, like, Brittany really hit a wall with him. And, like, Jax is who he is. I don't know how much a person can change and it be lasting change when, like, this is just who he is in his DNA. So I also feel like The Valley might be recording, and that's why he's taking these drastic steps, just like when he only finally called a counselor when the cameras picked up after 6 months.
Right.
So,
and then he didn't even go, right?
Fool me once, which like I do feel like I had been fooled.
We have been Jax Taylor, like apologists.
And I still will stand by that. I think he's like, to us, he's
On
always
a
been
human
really
level.
nice. Like I know that he does what he has to do for the show, but just like evaluating their relationship as a viewer, we saw something new in The Valley that we had never seen before. And mostly because Brittany was finally like sharing what she goes through.
Yeah.
All this time we thought, oh, she must not be going through much with him. He must be great to her because she's happy and she doesn't complain.
Right.
But then when she cracked and you could like see everything beneath the surface, it's like, oh, that's not
what it's been. This isn't like how it's been is not what we thought.
right. And that's like not livable for her. So I hope that they can make it work though, for the sake of like their family. And I think when they are good, they're great.
Yeah.
And they have a young child.
Right. That's the only reason, because I actually think like these two
You think
like
no.
don't need to work it out, except for the fact that they have a young child together.
But I also think that they like do love each other.
Yeah.
And like really I think it's more so can Brittany like forgive, and it's up to her, because for Jax it's like, how are you going to find someone like better for you, more devoted to you, an amazing partner better than Brittany? Like
Right.
you're really not going to.
She's
a person
so ride
like that
or
does not
die.
exist.
No, it's so true. I'm wishing him well. I don't fully understand where he's going and for what. But maybe, I'll find out when I tune into season 2 of The Valley.
Like I don't know if this is in earnest.
Yeah, right.
So
With Jax, like it very rarely is, but somebody who's like going to get help, like I'm not going to be like,
but
a
at a
hater.
certain point, like it could be in earnest. So I'll hold space for that. But like I said, like fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times.
Like I'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's really my take here. We will see.
TBD.
To be determined.
Are you ready for our next story?
Mm-hmm.
Reese Witherspoon
Spadoon.
has a new man.
Oh my God, what?
Reese Witherspoon sparks dating rumors with financier Oliver Haarmann.
Oh my God, Queen Financier.
She headed to dinner with her new man 1 year after her divorce from her second husband, Jim Toth. So Reese Witherspoon appears to have a new man in her life, as she was spotted with private equity financier Oliver Haarmann in New York.
Haarmann.
And I'm saying it weird because look at how it's spelled. Haar. M-A-N-N.
Haarmann.
You got it?
Yeah.
1 year after her divorce.
Oh my God, I never thought so much as like Reese Witherspoon as a single swirly, you know? Like I knew deep down that she was not married anymore, but I didn't think of her as like an eligible bachelorette on the market. I don't know why.
No, she's so eligible.
And let me tell you something about that Reese Witherspoon. She's no dummy. She is always going for the sensible choice. Like I always loved, even though it didn't work out, they had a long marriage, her and Jim Toth, and he's an agent. So he works in the industry, but he's not thirsty. He can relate to her, but they're not competing with one another. I thought it was a good move, you know, that's very Lady Gaga coded to go with the agent. Now she's dating not even a businessman, a financier. Like, I think this woman is smart. I think she's smart.
Yeah. So they've been out on a string of dates. His ex-wife is a businesswoman named Mala Gonkar, and she's literally like the most gorgeous woman, but she's in a relationship now with David Byrne. Not sure. I'm just Googling all these people, like to see if I recognize them. But like Mala's like a business. She went to like Harvard, and Harvard.
Oh,
Harvard College, Harvard Business School, and Harvard University.
Like it's hard.
Classic.
Interesting. No, this is a great circle for Reese to run in. I think, you know, we forget, and it's because she's so relatable. She is a billionaire. She is, of course,
she's
like
a businesswoman herself.
She's a Hollywood actress, yada, yada. She has a $1 billion business. She's not, you know, your run-of-the-mill Hollywood actress. So I think she moves and shakes in circles that some of us could only dream of. And I think that's how she met this guy.
Probably.
And I love this. I really do.
Yeah.
I can't imagine her dating. I can't explain why.
Like, just she's so cute and like silly and funny. But I could also really see her dating because she's just like a swirly.
She has swirly energy for sure. I love this for her. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So wishing them well. Not going to get like too
invested
caught up in it, but I hope to hear nothing for a while.
When you were saying his name, I was like, no way is she dating Llewellyn Delesep's ex-husband.
Yeah,
I mean, ex-boyfriend / Mary-Kate Olsen's ex-husband.
This is so much better than that.
This is so much better than that. But this is he cute?
So I only got a picture of him from the back. I guess I could Google him.
What's his name?
Because I've Googled everyone else in this story. Oliver Haarmann.
Oh, right. Haarmann.
Haarmann.
I would also love to know
and what exactly
his
does he? Oh, he's cute. He's German. But they said, did not they say English? Maybe I made that up.
I'm like having a hard time finding this guy on social media.
Oh, I'm just on Google. He's definitely not on social media.
Well, green flag, not on social media. Like that's the type of guy you should be dating.
So he is a German private equity financier and a founding partner of Searchlight Capital Partners.
Obsessed.
What's that?
We love a founding partner.
Yeah, of something.
Of something.
Oh, they have $15 billion in assets under management. Sounds legit.
Maybe one of those assets is Hello Sunshine, and that's how they met.
I don't like that for her. That's a toxic dynamic.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's like a power imbalance.
Yeah, when she's a powerful woman. Like, why do we have to take her power away?
Oh, man, not me taking her power away. I'm so sorry. You're so right. I apologize to the power swirlies.
To the
not you
power
calling me
swirlies. It needed to be said.
No, it's so true. Like I'm so toxic in my I think everything's a smut book. Like, yes, he's your boss.
For sure. And usually I'm like with you when it goes into like a dynamic, like classic dynamic, but like she's the businesswoman here. Let's me not forget.
Right. She's just not your typical Hollywood swirly.
No. Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
If it's the fifth and final story that's brought to you by Haya.
Hiya, yeah.
So typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise. They're filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, other gummy junk that growing kids should not be eating. And that's why Haya was created, the pediatrician-approved superpowered chewable vitamin. While most children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar and they can contribute to a variety of health issues, Haya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk, but it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters, including our niece Michaela, who's seriously like you have to pry the bottle of Haya out of her hands. It's her favorite time of day. Haya fills the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment that your kids need with the yummy taste that they love. Formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Haya is pressed with a blend of 12 minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. Haya is designed for kids of all ages. It is sent straight to your door, so parents have one less thing to worry about. We've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim your deal, you must go to hiyahealth.com/toast. This deal is not available on their regular website. Only when you go to hiyahealth.com/toast. That's hiyahealth.com/toast. Get your kids the full body nourishment that they need to grow into healthy adults. That's hiyahealth.com/toast. hiyahealth.com/toast. Today's episode is also brought to you by Cozy Earth. So Jackie and I are pretty much experts when it comes to the business of being cozy. We love Cozy Earth, their bamboo bedding, their bath collection, their really luxurious bath sheets. Their products are really made of fabulous quality, but most importantly, they're durable. How many times have you guys had a blanket or a set of sheets or a towel that just after one wash either it shrinks, it loses that fabulous feel? That I think is really what sets Cozy Earth apart. They are made really well. They're super durable. They're made for real life. I love their products. You guys know how important cozy vibes are to us. And we've worked out a great deal with them. So CozyEarth.com is their website. And if you go to CozyEarth.com/thetoast, use our code TOAST for an exclusive 40% discount. If you get a post-purchase survey, say that you heard about Cozy Earth from this podcast, and they will send you a free set of socks. Do not sleep on their socks. I love a pair of cozy socks. I'm always walking around in them. Cozy Earth makes amazing ones. So again, go to CozyEarth.com/thetoast. Use our code TOAST for an exclusive 40% discount. Upgrade your nights, transform your days with Cozy Earth. Check out their luxe bath sheets, their bamboo sheet sets. Their quality is really unparalleled. They're so breathable. You'll sleep several degrees cooler. The fabric is really durable. It won't pill, and they have a superior softness. So the ultimate ingredient for luxurious sleep is softness. Theirs use only the best fabrics and textiles to enhance that. Head to CozyEarth.com/thetoast and use code TOAST for an exclusive 40% discount, but only when you go to CozyEarth.com/thetoast.
Thanks, the turd.
You're welcome.
Our fifth and final story is a little throwback fun because
Throwback Thursday, if you will.
Throwback Wednesday on a Tuesday night. Jennifer Stone from Wizards of Waverly Place is kind of spilling the tea about...
Wait, is that Harper? Was that her name?
That's the friend. She has the podcast, the Rewatch show.
I'm aware.
And they must have gotten to this episode that was the crossover between Hannah Montana's Sweet Life on Deck.
So it's a rewatch show.
Yeah, and Wizards of Waverly Place.
Okay.
So she is talking about Miley and Selena's dynamic on set and the fact that they actually couldn't film a scene together because of the drama. So Miley and Selena only...
we're gonna recap this, but it's really important to take stories like this with a grain of salt because there is a certain generation of post-child actors whose full-time job is making content about the show they got famous on. And it's all over social media, famously Chelsea from That's So Raven. And these people become genuinely insufferable and they'll do anything for attention. So just keep that in mind. Although I feel like Harper's genuine.
Harper has reached that level.
Me neither.
I think she's just commenting on the episode at hand. And she's inadvertently giving us tea that some of us have been waiting for
our
15 years.
That's the way you should feel your whole life.
So Miley and Selena only, quote, got along intermittently, says Jennifer Harper, during their Disney Channel days due to drama over their mutual ex, according to fellow
Jonas.
former child star Jennifer Stone. Wizards of Waverly Place alum Jennifer Stone explained on Monday why the actresses did not have scenes together in the show's 2009 crossover.
Well, I need to go back and watch the episode to see what they never filmed together.
Yeah, Sweet Life on Deck with Hannah Montana. She said, quote, it was like high school. They both dated Nick. I think Miley dated him first and then Selena dated him. And then it was just messy high school nonsense. She went on to clarify that they're fine now. They're all good. But yeah, it was high school BS.
I mean, I guess you have to think about the fact that these girls were actually 14. And if you ran into in the hallways a girl who dated your boyfriend, you would have it wasn't probably that they were ignoring each other. They probably you're so immature at that age. You probably don't even know what to say. You're just ignoring them.
And then add on top of that the dynamics of them being at the helm of their own Disney show, being in competition
Egos.
by the world and by the network. And what's Wizards of Waverly Place doing?
Always
this
being
girl
compared.
is your competition. There's no way to forge a genuine friendship, especially when you're so young and immature and insecure.
Yeah. And then the Nick Jonas of it all doesn't help because I think those girlies were seriously not okay after they dated him. Nick never did it for me, but I do think that And maybe it was just those brothers in general. When you think about like the damage that they did at that age,
Like how many girls are left in their wake and are never the same? Demi Lovato.
Taylor Swift. These
Never
girls,
the same.
what the hell did those boys do? Like they weren't okay.
I know.
But I think it's also just when you're a girl at that age, like you feel things so deeply.
No, but also like we were all in love with the Jonas Brothers. Like they were those boys. And I think also you can throw Justin Bieber in there.
Yeah, not for us.
And so Selena got hit from both ways, not in the sense of like,
so true.
in the sense of like teen love, heart,
Double homicide.
Eggs.
No, it's so
homicide.
true. And because she really, with like the biggest heartthrobs of that time, you're right. Like it was the Justin Bieber and Nick Jonas. And she's the only one who dated both of them. And seriously, pray for her. Because you're right. Like something about that generation of girls everyone who they dated at that time, like seriously, they're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Like those girls went on to have many loves, kids. They are still talking about the time they dated. Like, what the hell was up with the Jonas Brothers back then?
No, but it's also nice to know and reassuring to know that like they were those guys. Like we weren't just idolizing like
Freaks.
like lame sauce.
Yeah, no, they were those guys.
They were the whatever
Who
sauce.
are those current guys in this very moment?
Probably like Josh Richards.
Oh my God, like TikTokers? I think you're right, yeah.
Right? Who were you going to say? Or like Chase Stokes or...
Yeah.
But they're a little
They're
older
older
at this point. But like super...
No, it's not even the TikTokers. The TikTokers are like in their 20s. When we were seriously like
It was
crying
like 16.
ourselves to sleep, they were like 15, 16. Who, I guess I'm not a freak, so I don't know who
But like
15
even what
year
is
olds.
the content that they're watching? Like, is there a big Disney Channel show?
Oh, that's a good question.
Not really.
I don't know. I don't keep up.
No, but I feel like if it's big enough, like I feel like 30-year-olds knew about Hannah Montana.
I don't know if they did, honestly.
Really? I feel like you couldn't do it. You can't watch the Macy's Day Parade. You can't go to Walmart. Like everything is whatever's the zeitgeist. And I really don't know what that is right now.
I think maybe people who were 30 years old when Hannah Montana came on were like familiar with it because Billy Ray was also on it. And he was, he brought in an older audience and people knew who he was.
Okay, but 30-year-olds also knew the Jonas Brothers.
I don't know. Like it's hard to know if like Disney was my universe.
I feel like
was
people
it
are,
the universe?
I feel like people are siloed now. Like some people like Bryce Hall, some people Josh Richards, some people like
Noah Beck,
Ross Lynch.
People do like Ross Lynch. That's true. That is very true. I can't believe you know who Ross Lynch is.
Well, I do know who he is.
How?
Why?
He's from Austin and Alley.
Yeah, that's why.
But
what does he do? He's like in the Macy's Day Parade.
He's not.
He's such Macy's.
He is one of like 8 siblings. They're all really musical and they're all in different bands. Some of them play together in a band.
Teen Beach Movie, so good.
Classic.
And
he tours. He's a musician. He's a very small but cult following.
I'm looking at like related. Noah Centineo.
Noah Centineo was a Jonas brother of his time.
Of his minute. He only had 1 minute.
That's the thing. Because media works differently now, nobody's going to have what the Jonas brothers had. And if they do have it, they'll have it for 35 seconds, a la Noah Centineo.
Is there a crazy big show that kids are watching?
Like Euphoria. Jacob Elordi is one of them.
Yeah.
But he's still like kind of old.
Mm-hmm. And like low-key, not pervasive like Jonas Brothers. Because he's an actor. We don't get that much of him. He's not on tour.
All right. If you have like a teenage daughter, you guys sound off in the comments. Like, who are they obsessed with? Like, who do they have a crush on?
Yeah.
I guess for a while it was One Direction, Harry Styles.
But that's not too far away from Jonas Brothers, Justin Bieber.
I don't know. I'm not keeping up with what 12-year-olds are doing because I'm a grown-ass woman.
That's good. That's healthy.
It is good. It is good.
Yeah.
It was touch and go there for me for a minute.
Yeah.
Was that the 5th story?
Beach Movie. Yeah, that was the 5th story. So I just want to say, like, shout out to Jennifer Stone. Like, feel free to keep them coming.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that one.
I will never, like, tire of hearing about that period.
I agree.
And the behind-the-scenes drama. Like, that, just like hearing yesterday/today about Billy Rose, like, ruining my childhood.
Yep.
Billy Ray.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. With
Billy Ray and Fire Rose,
Yep.
like, they've effectively ruined my childhood. Like, this brings me back to life.
I would love a documentary on that period. Although, and I'm sure it was filled with like highs and lows, but I think the general consensus from everybody who came out of that was like nothing terrible happened.
Yeah, it was like, I think high stress, toxic, not a normal childhood, not the way an environment for a child.
But not like, committing crimes.
Right.
But that was, to me, like some of the greatest days of my life.
Yeah. So thanks to everyone who participated.
Who made it that way for us. We really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who wrote into Dear Toaster. So our weekly advice segment every Wednesday, Jax and I take 3 submissions from girlies in need, covering a wide range of issues from relationships to, we get a lot of weight stuff. I think people like see us as like, the girlies they can talk to about weight.
I like that.
Me too. And if you ever want to write in, you can do it at deartoasters@gmail.com. That's the email, deartoasters@gmail.com, or head over to our website, thetoastpodcast.com. If you scroll down, there's a submission box, totally anonymous. Same with the email. We'll never, expose you in that way. But let's get into it. Hello, Jackson Turd. Longtime listener here. Thank you both so much for your daily dose of laughter and joy.
Oh.
Recently, I was getting some work done on my car at my regular body shop. I come here often for oil changes, regular maintenance.
Do people go to the body shop?
I didn't know you
that
had like a
often?
regular spot, but that's cool. This time, I guess
I don't have oil.
Oh yeah.
I drive electric. How often do you change your oil?
For me, that's not my job. Like
Right.
that's a Ben
But
job.
how often are you telling your husband to go change the oil?
Well, we do it at the dealership. And I don't know how often. Like it's really like I can't stress how not my problem that is. So I was at my body shop, yada yada. This time, as I was getting ready to pay, I noticed a few of the mechanics were smirking at each other. I thought it was really odd, but I just assumed that I was looking sickening that day. I love that that's where
so
you
were.
probably were. Later on, when I got in my car and drove off, I noticed that the smut book I had been listening to on audiobook seemed to have skipped ahead to the next chapter. I was mortified when I realized that while I was sitting in the waiting room, my phone had automatically connected to my car's Bluetooth, and a particular steamy chapter was playing through my speakers for the whole garage to hear. How do I show my face here again? Do I have to move to a new mechanic? Please advise. Love you dearly.
Okay, that is so funny. I just don't understand how you could be in such a conundrum where like your, weekly mechanic appointment has to be moved. Like maybe there's something wrong with your car if you need to go there so often.
For sure. That, and also like I'm having a hard time giving you advice because I can't get into the headspace of somebody who's like mechanic knows them. I feel like a mechanic is something you do. Am I crazy? Like once every 10 years.
It's like a one-off thing.
And I feel like it's always when you're on a road trip. So you go to like some forlorn place on the side of the road.
Yeah, or you go here, you go there this time. Maybe there's a new mechanic. Maybe you get like a TaskRabbit mechanic sometime.
The thing is, when it comes to actual tangible advice, like who fucking cares? The next time you come in, hopefully we'll be in like, I don't know, it's with you, it sounds like a couple of days, but so much happens in people's lives. Like they're not going to be thinking about it. Just wear your hair differently. Like he won't even remember you.
No, it was a painful moment. I don't think it's going to permeate longer than that, except like if you keep going back for more.
Yeah.
Maybe try and hold off for the next one so they can really forget.
Not only that, might I suggest, what is that sponsor that does like sexy audiobooks? They sponsor the Redheads and Dipsy. You should get into Dipsy. I didn't realize like people were also doing audiobooks of smut. Because I don't do audiobooks.
Listening. Yeah.
And I don't know what that experience is like. It's basically like audio pornography.
Yeah, Dipsy.
Check out Dipsy. That doesn't solve your problem because Dipsy still would have played.
You're just saying I think you would like it.
Yeah, no, I'm just making suggestions for like ways for you to spend your time. But yeah, Dipsy would have still connected to your Bluetooth.
Yeah. Don't beat yourself up.
Agreed.
Like, it's seriously hysterical. You just got to ride it out. No pun intended.
And no pun intended. And I just want to say, you're feeling down. And let me just lift you up. The fact that you thought everybody was staring at you because you looked so beautiful, like you are my kind of woman. I love your energy.
No, and also like maybe one of the mechanics like listened to your smut and was like, oh, she's like DTF.
Yeah, maybe they were all
and
hard.
You were looking so beautiful. And maybe next time one of them is going to ask you to be his girlfriend.
Yeah. And like you literally like put on something erotic and then they like were acting like horny.
Interested.
Yeah, interested.
Okay, I think you have 5 mechanic boyfriends now.
But I do think we should talk about your car. Like
even, I know I drive an electric car, so I don't have to get my oil changed, but like my husband doesn't get his oil changed that often.
No, and I understand like cars have issues, but do you know how much money you're spending at the mechanic? Like maybe just like you might be better off saving that money for a new car.
You might be better off marrying a mechanic who could just fix your car. Maybe go back.
And I know a mechanic perfect for you.
I know a group of mechanics who are interested.
Good luck with that. All right, next up here.
Thank you for the laugh.
Dear Jackie and Claudia, toaster husband here. My wife is pregnant with our first, and we are so excited. The only drawback so far is that my wife is having an extremely difficult time with her body changing and growing. My wife is absolutely stunning and fit, and I try to constantly be positive and uplifting, telling her that she's crazy and that she's just gorgeous when she gets down in the dumps, but really nothing is working. How do I get through to her that all of this is a part of the process of being pregnant and ensure her that she's not morphing into a beluga whale? Her words, not mine. Save me. When I go the positivity route, she looks like she might kill me.
You can't say anything. Like, she's on this journey. She'll get there. She will have, God willing, her baby one day, and she'll bounce back, and she will literally forget how big she was. I was just looking at pictures on my Time Hop of me from a year ago today. Like, I was so big, and you seriously forget it's a moment in time. If my husband was trying to tell me, like, you're gorgeous, shut up.
Yeah, there really is.
Shut up, you're not changing.
Is it more helpful to be like, what are you talking about? I hate when people are like, acting like what's happening isn't happening. And it's like, no, facts are facts. Like, I have gained weight. So saying like, no, you haven't, is not helpful because I have.
And it's not about talking about gaining weight. Like, this is a pregnancy. It's not like your wife is gaining weight and you want to assure her that she's beautiful no matter what she looks like. Like, she's going through something right now.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, oh no, like when people are like, I've gained weight, they're like, but you're beautiful. And it's like, well, I wasn't asking if I was beautiful. Like, I said I gained weight. So yeah, I don't know what the right way, especially like for a pregnant person, but
I imagine it's frustrating for you, and you can continue to like be positive. Don't be like toxically, annoyingly positive. If you see there's when she's saying something, if there's an opening for you to say something, or if she's being hard on herself, like tell her like how amazing she's doing. What she's doing is so incredible. But don't just say like you just keep saying the same things. Maybe talk more about the process, but also this is, I do feel like, something that she's going to
work through,
come around on and work through, and it's all part of the journey. Like, yeah, it's weird and parts of it are like upsetting when you're getting so big, but it's a luxury.
It's a luxury.
I
love that.
But you also don't want to hear that sometimes too, when like, oh, you should feel so blessed to be so big. Like,
no, and like you can't complain even though like there are things to complain about.
In this case, I'm saying this earnestly, two things can be true at the same time.
Wow, we have officially come full circle.
Yeah.
But two things can be true at the same time.
You just got to let her go through it.
Yeah. Just get her snacks. That's a funny thing. Like
sometimes when I feel fat, like the only thing that can help me is eating more.
No, like have you ever had a breakdown about like what to wear and you just decide not to go and eat?
Yeah, no, I'm at a party and I feel fat, so I have to come home and eat.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like,
no, but I feel like that night, like it doesn't matter if you eat or don't eat. Like that's not going to change
the dress
how you
isn't
actually
fitting.
look.
Yeah,
we'll start tomorrow, but like that night, I need the comfort of food.
Yeah, it's actually the only thing that like makes me feel better for not looking the way that I want to. It's insane.
No, I'm unhappy because I eat,
and I eat because I'm unhappy. And there's something really crazy. You ever get to a place where like you're so unhappy with the way you look? Your immediate like reaction is no longer sadness, it's anger. And like you eat like to spite yourself.
Oh, no.
I've been there.
Like, yes, anger, but then I'm not eating to spite myself because I still am like finding the comfort and sweetness. It's like a cozy vibe. It's a good vibe. Yeah, it's a good sweet vibe.
It's a sweet treat.
Yeah, I don't like eat out of anger.
No.
I feel like I don't eat out of anger.
Sometimes I eat out of anger and I'm like, yeah, that'll show her. It's like, I don't even know who to direct my anger at these days.
No, I feel like sometimes when I'm so angry, like I won't eat. No, I'll show them.
Like, I'm so crazy. Sometimes I'll stub my tongue. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm ordering pizza. Like,
I mean, you tried your best.
No, you ever bite your tongue and you're like, okay, ice cream.
Yeah, well, you needed to soothe the pain.
No, like I need the cold, sweet treat.
You need to put ice on it. That one's medical.
So just get your girl ice cream. That's our advice.
Just be there for her. Stay out of her way. Don't say annoying shit. That's just good pregnancy advice in general.
Also, like it's so important. And I have to say, like so many of the girls that I talk to, who have either had babies or are going to have babies, like really have used or plan on using Ozempic as a resource post baby, which I think for like a lot of women is, I think it holds a lot of people back from like getting pregnant because the idea of this huge shift is so scary. The fact that we have this is such a blessing.
Right.
I don't know if like bringing that up to her like might ease her pain at all, but just be like, there's always Ozempic.
Yeah. No, I think that would like hurt her because I feel like what she's experiencing, she's not worried about like losing the weight. She might actually be looking forward to that.
Right.
I think she's dreading like the climb.
But life's the climb.
Life is the climb.
And if the view's great.
It's just a part of the process. Sometimes you just got to let things play out. You can't fix everything.
You can't fix everything. Longtime breather and toaster in need of your girlie's advice. Every time I take my kids to the park, there's a young couple that lay next to the playground without kids, and they practically fornicate in front of everyone. Shirtless massages, straddling each other, heavily making out, and slapping asses with a belt. Do I say something to them? Do I call the cops? Bring my kids to a new park? They're there all the time, and it's just really awkward and inappropriate.
Call the cops.
Yeah, this is like where, and I think the older you get, the more you're like embracing your inner Karen. Like you have to call the cops. At the end of the day, what these people are doing is illegal.
Illegal, you said?
It depends where you live. But
and also just depends on like the level of nudity, but it's inappropriate. Like these are children and there's something weird here. There's a million parks you could go like get your rocks off. Why are you doing it next to kids? Like that's creepy.
I want to talk about the belt. Mm-hmm. Slapping asses with a belt.
No. This is like, call the cops.
Yeah, this is freaky. Mm-hmm. And this is just a conversation. I feel like.
But having sex in public is not legal.
No, it is not. Thank you for bringing that up. And it's a perfect segue into a conversation I love to have, and I feel we always have it at some point during Dear Toasters is, bring back shame.
Yeah. But also like bring back
decency.
All the cops.
Bring back the cops. Hey, cops, get over here. Come back. There's a crazy couple fornicating in front of them. And by the way, this is like, obviously it's illegal, but it's like another level of illegal when you're within like X amount of feet from a children's playground.
100%.
Like, it's really sick.
They were like X amount of feet from
a school.
No, but I'm saying like, what's like a public park that kids aren't at that just adults would be at? I don't fucking know.
Like a nudist park? I don't know.
Yeah, but say it was just like Washington Square Park, like a general park, and they were doing this. Like it wouldn't be as
crazy,
bad, and as inappropriate as doing it next to a children's playground.
Well, it's like this actually just happened. I think it was in Williamsburg. Or no, it was Central Park. It was like such a gorgeous day. Everybody was out on the park, and this couple was like laying under a towel, like having sex. And people were filming it, like. And I don't know, I think the cops ended up like breaking it up. My God, like who would ever be a cop? I don't fucking know. Like that sounds horrible. Like making these freaks like get off of each other. I would seriously be like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
It just happened. And it's like, broad daylight, a million people around. It was a gorgeous day. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday. Everybody was like, hanging around in the park. You're having sex in the middle of the park. What is wrong with people?
Well, a lot's wrong with people, but I actually am like not surprised that does. I'm actually surprised that doesn't happen more. Like I feel like people walk around naked.
Yeah.
People are like just having sex everywhere, kissing. Like there's no boundaries anymore. Like why this line?
Yeah. But doing it near a kid's park is so not okay, and you should 100% call the cops, and you should feel empowered in your Karen-ness. Like this is one of those moments where it's allowed.
100%.
Got to protect them kids.
That's so crazy.
Dear Toasters, again, our weekly advice segment where if you want to write in or if you have written in and we gave you some advice, let us know how that went. Update us. You can email us deartoasters@gmail.com or head over to thetoastpodcast.com for a little submission box. That is our show. We're back Thursday, hoping to have the new studio set up. I plan to have video. Don't, get excited.
Be a bit of a surprise and delight
for
situation.
everyone. It'll be a surprise for everyone what happens on Thursday.
But there will be audio.
Yeah, of course, there always is. Thank you guys so much for listening to That's Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories you need to every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and this video, thumbs up. We're also available as podcasts or podcasts we found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iReady, CastBox, all the places where you listen to podcasts. Find us. So tell us if you 5-star review about how beautiful, about how stunning, about how wickedly talented we are.
Love ya. Bye.